good crew, great group of guys.
Yeah, and you've upgraded the camp.
Yeah, it was a nice welcome to the crew to have something a little bit more upscale than the past camp.
Yeah, but it's nice, even the Spartan camps, there's something about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of good memories made there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep. All the oil lamps and wood burner.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's day of hunting, and it's being so dark and they're not so well lit. Everybody seems to turn in a little easier than a well lit cabin.
Super. I'm super excited.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We've got
super excited.
We've got Camp Benny joining us today.
Yes. Yeah.
Ben, how do you say your last name? Is it Kuncaitis?
Close. Kuncaitis.
Kuncaitis. Okay.
I knew I'd butcher it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this.
Easy way
one.
to remember it. I think of like a disease like appendicitis or Kuncaitis. It's a Lithuanian descent.
No kidding. All right.
Yep.
So Ben's coming from us from Michigan.
Exactly.
You said you live in Grand Rapids, right?
Yep.
But your camp is up in the UP.
Yeah. Believe it or not, it's 500 miles one way to get to camp.
Oh, no way.
Wow.
That's a commitment.
Yes.
But if we leave, I had left an uncle's camp that was just, his deer camp was only like an hour and a half from home. And he was giving me some static one day because I would drive so far to go to deer camp, like it didn't make much sense. But I figure if we headed out at 4 a.m, we'd be there by noon. And so at the end of the day, it's the day before the opener or whatever. Although our hips might hurt a little more from the long ride.
Yeah.
We're still at deer camp, just like they were.
Well, Ben, we appreciate you joining us. Like I said,
thanks for having me.
I was looking forward to it. I think, Dad, how long have you watched?
It's been, it's like I say, it's been longer than you've had a channel, Paul, that I've watched, Ben.
Because you've done it for a long time. I think 13 years was your oldest video I saw.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think around 2012, 2011, maybe somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deer camp is something that's always been real special to me.
Yeah.
And it seems like Michigan in particular has a culture that really finds that valuable.
Yeah. A lot of deer camps. I grew up, with the whole deer camp lifestyle. Unfortunately, you see a lot less camps nowadays than what you did back then.
Yeah.
And we're trying to do our part and, changing that as much as we can. But yeah, it's an uphill battle.
Did your family hunt? Did you come from a family of hunters? Is that how you...
Yeah, I would say if we called hunting a sickness in a good way, I'm probably the most sick one in the family. My dad, in my younger years, he was very supportive in bringing me to camps before I could drive. He wasn't really hunting much anymore by then. There's quite a few of us kids in the family. I'm the caboose. I'm way at the end there. So he was taking pictures of deer by the time I was starting to shoot them. Always drove me to the camps, so while he was out of done hunting pretty much by then, before I could drive, he would at least get me to the camps and super supportive.
So the camp that you were at before, was that a family camp or was that something you acquired yourself after the fact?
Yeah, great question. So when I was a kid, I would go to my uncle's camp. It was my mom's brothers. And it was just a great time. I have so many great memories. I learned so much from, those that had more experience than me. I grew up just walking the woods. If I got out from school, I packed a backpack and I was gone till dark. Day after day after day, pretty much. And anyways, I thought I knew quite a bit, from a woodsman standpoint, but hanging out with those guys, you just can't learn how to gut a deer, out on your own like that. I mean, you could, but much easier to learn from others.
It is.
So yeah, I give a lot of credit to, my first year and handling all that. Credit to those guys for sure. All those years of going to my uncle's camps, I had so much fun, but there was something in me where I felt almost like this guilt. Nothing they put on me, but it was like I needed to serve and do my part. And I didn't make much money or anything like that,
Yep.
so I didn't really. I just couldn't contribute enough to camp as that feeling I
Yep.
had. And they were super welcoming. It wasn't anything on them, but I really needed to own my own camp and start my own camp and kind of make it my own thing.
Branch out.
And so that's what I was on a mission for. So, after Amy and I got married and we had a couple kids, I was like in my mid-20s. I started the search looking for some property, and my brother's father-in-law happened to own a chunk of land up in the UP that didn't have anything on it. It was just section of woods, a 40, and so I started negotiating with him a deal and something that would allow me to start getting a camp erected.
So did you build that camp yourself?
The camp 1.0, what
Yeah.
we did is we ended up finding first I bought a trailer out of, I don't know if in Maine you had such a thing in the newspaper called the Bargain Corner. Not much of a thing here anymore, probably, but
We had like the
I just
buy,
bought
swap,
an
and sell
old
Yeah,
guide.
camper.
exactly. Which is gone now, Paul. I
Yeah.
think that they terminated the buy, swap, and
All
sell
right.
guide. Yeah. Yeah.
So I bought this old camper from the east side of the state, and my brothers and I hauled it all the way up to its final resting place
Yeah.
at the original camp. We used that for a couple years. Then we found a old, kind of like a job site trailer that they would run a little office out of. We hauled that up in December. That was quite an adventure. Getting that across the Mackinac Bridge and all that kind of stuff. It was dicey. I'll just leave it at that.
Those are some of the
uh,
best memories.
Yeah. We went ahead and put a wood burner in it, the oil lamps. A lot of that mimicked what I saw, at my uncle's places growing up. I wanted it to be so much like theirs. They were, idols or icons to me.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we had to have a buck pole and an outhouse and all that good stuff.
So is it mostly private land that you hunt in the UP?
So I own, between the two camps, they're each 40-acre
Okay.
pieces. But in the UP, I think the UP is like 8 million acres of forest land, and like almost half of that is public land.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's great.
Like 4.6 million, I think,
Yeah.
acres.
We thought we had a
public
lot,
land.
Paul, with 3.5.
Yeah. So you get
Yeah.
access to a lot of land.
Yeah. So both
Yeah,
camps,
so
1 and 2.0, is the land connected, Benny?
They're about 22 miles apart.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not too
Yeah.
bad.
Because I've seen where
We're-
you've driven over while you're at one camp going to the other. I didn't know how close that was to the
Yeah,
the old
just
camp.
close enough.
Yeah, exactly. 22 miles is doable.
Have you hunted much in Maine, Ben?
Yeah, so my experiences hunting Maine has just been pretty much purely black bear hunting. I've been there probably, I don't even remember, 4 to 6 times probably.
Oh, wow.
One of the times was just for my wife on the women's bear hunt that Hal Blood used to do with Remington,
Yes. Yep.
which was actually monumental for my family because Amy had hunted with me previous to that, but she wasn't really embracing it. It was just more something that, she's a wonderful cheerleader. She's very supportive. She likes to do things that I like to do, so she's wonderful that way. But that particular hunt really unlocked something inside her,
No kidding.
a desire to do some hunting herself. So that was unexpected prize there.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
So that's something you guys can share together.
100%.
Which could be a double-edged sword, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, could be. It definitely is.
Sometimes when the guys want to go to camp, it's like, oh, boys.
Yeah.
Got to pull the two
Yeah,
directions.
she's been great that way. Go ahead, go to camp with the guys and whatnot. But we are starting to add more and more trips and more hunting, which doesn't break my heart.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Get out.
100%.
Yeah.
Are you
In fact,
close
you might
to?
have seen some videos with my buddy Dean. He has a deer camp up in the UP, and so her and I will usually go spend time with him and his wife. Like after Thanksgiving Day, we'll go up for the weekend. That kind of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, but you mentioned your dad, Ben. You said he would take you up and drop you off or whatever, and he hunted early in life, but was it an illness or just age that he got out of hunting?
Age probably it's some to do with it, but I think we're just different.
Yeah.
I think he likes to take pictures of animals. He doesn't have any problem with me harvesting them, and he's had some years of that. But I think he does really enjoy the camaraderie aspect of deer camp.
Yep.
So
my dad was the same way,
that.
Ben.
Yeah,
my dad went to deer camp, but he
out,
liked the social aspect of it.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea of going out and just freezing his tush off and not talking to anybody for a full day bothers him more than it does me.
Did he ever harvest any deer, Ben?
Yeah, he did harvest some. In fact, I think even when he was kind of over it just to appease me, I think he still, went out from time to time. And I remember gutting his last deer for him, and it was, I don't know, he's still with us now, thankfully. He was my best man at my wedding. I mean, my dad's my best friend. And
that's fantastic, Ben.
He'll mention to me from time to time, he'll like apologize because he knows how passionate I am about it, but I let him off the hook right away. I legitimately, I don't feel anything negative about it. He's just always been so supportive. I've got all kinds of, other people I can hunt with and whatnot, and he enjoys watching the Camp Benny videos from his lazy boy recliner, so that's good enough.
Yeah, that's the same way with me, Ben. Although my dad wasn't a serious hunter, he took us, my brother and I, at a very young age, and he really ignited the fire, because I had the same passion to deer hunt and to fish and bird hunt and the outdoors in general.
That's great.
Yeah.
You see some dads that are super into it, and then, their sons won't be, it's just, we're all, different. I think
we're all different.
Yeah.
My father-in-law is like that with his son, with my brother-in-law. My father-in-law is an avid deer hunter. And, but my brother-in-law just really has no interest in it. And Keith, my father-in-law, used to bring him all the time. Youth Day, they'd harvest deer on Youth Day. And he just doesn't, not his thing.
Yeah. And like I say, everybody's different.
Yep. Yeah, I think I learned that early on as a parent. I thought I could just parent my kids all one way and they just output, productive people in society. But I learned quickly that, I had to parent them as individuals. They're
all different.
Yeah, you let them find their own way, Ben.
Yep.
We can't, we want to direct them obviously into productive adults and, responsible adults, but they find their own way in the world. They decide what they're going to like and what they don't like and what they want to do.
Yep.
How many kids do you have?
We raise them as best we can. I have 3 kids.
Okay.
And I figure our philosophy, raise them as best you can. If they turn out to turn to other ways or whatever that aren't right, then that's on them. At least us
You
as
did your
parents,
part.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. But yeah, I've got 3 kids. 2 of them are married. My oldest, she's married to Brian. You'll see him in the
Yep.
deer camp videos.
Yep.
And they have 2 children, so I've got 2 grandchildren. Waylon Benjamin, so I snuck in on the middle name there. And then a little granddaughter named Wren, just like the bird.
Yeah.
He's a sweetie. So Waylon did his first track job with us last fall. You might have seen that video. That was near home when Brian had shot a buck with his bow. And then my next oldest is McKenna. She lives in Wisconsin, and she's married to Travis, and he got his first deer last year. And he grew up going to deer camps all his life. But yeah, he came over to camp with us last year, and he shot his first. So we're super excited about that.
Sweet.
Yeah,
And
I saw the video.
Yeah, and Ben Jr., he shot his biggest Big Woods buck last year at Camp 2.0.
Yep.
Which was, the first deer shot at Camp 2.0 too.
Nice.
Yeah, all these firsts.
First of the greatest.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
We have fun at camp, though. We go, this is my first buck that I shot on a Tuesday after such and such road got paved.
Yeah.
And before this store was built.
I can't tell you what I had for supper last night, but I can tell you all my first when it comes to hunting, where I was,
Right.
what song was playing on the radio. It's insane.
That's awesome.
So
it sounds like you guys have pretty much hunted Maine your whole life, right? For whitetail?
We have.
Yeah.
We pretty well stick to.
Yeah. The only other place I've hunted whitetail outside of Maine, I went to Anacostia on one trip, Ben.
Okay.
The problem with us is we're so far from any other state to try to drive from. We're in the northern tip of Maine, so it's which I shouldn't complain about because you're driving 500 miles and we wouldn't have to drive 500 miles to get out of the state of Maine. But
that's a long ways.
That is a long way.
Yeah, you're in a great area. I remember meeting Hal and those guys over in Ontario one week after our Michigan gun season. And boy, was that a adventure. We're over in, Western Ontario. And we all had a long drive to get there.
Yeah.
Had a great time.
How'd you make out?
Yeah.
Did you shoot a nice buck or?
I ended up, so I was pretty new to tracking at the time, and I learned a lot just being sewed to particularly Chris Dalty's hip for a good part of the week. And I finally felt, I just felt a level of confidence that I told him, I said, I'm ready to break apart here and venture off on my own. And so I tracked a buck to his bed, and I made a decision at the time, for as remote as I was and what I knew what work laid ahead, if it wasn't the absolute monster of a lifetime, I was going to let it pass. And so I did. But I did continue to dog it the rest of that day, which was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, you've hunted all over the country, Ben. It seems.
Yeah, it's
Wyoming, Georgia.
Some fruit that's really come from this whole Camp Benny channel is there's a lot of people around the U.S. that have deer camps themselves, of course, or they were a part of one. And so I've been getting some really awesome invites from guys just, hey, why don't you come to our camp and hang out with us for a week and see what we got going on here. And so I've had the opportunity to go visit these other camps or even just our own DIY hunts. You might have seen a couple years ago, we had a Wyoming hunt.
Yes.
And we just went knocking on doors. And I love that kind of stuff. I love not knowing tomorrow where my boots are going to be on the ground, to go in and get after it.
Oh my word. I like a little more predictability.
Yeah, a little more scheduled, planned out. Yeah, yeah.
I have a video where I shot a big velvet mule deer buck.
Yeah,
and
I
some
saw the
antelope
video.
bucks. And that gentleman, he just said, yeah, $20 a gun. You guys can come hunt my place. And
No kidding.
it was an awesome time. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cheap. 20
Yeah,
bucks
I guess,
a gun.
I guess ask and you shall receive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to go for it sometimes,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Step out of our comfort zones a bit. But
Exactly.
I'm not so good at that.
No, I'm not. I'm asking for things. I'm not
No.
real good at that either, Paul.
And I like predictability. I have a hard time kind of
Sure.
stepping into the unknown. So yeah, hats off to that. That's impressive. So Ben, one thing I want to ask you is you just got back from Africa,
Yes,
South Africa, right?
that's correct.
And it was an anniversary trip?
It was. I'll be married 30 years this year.
Oh man, congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about that trip, because you were posting you had some posts on YouTube that I was really enjoying, because it seemed like there was a different animal every day.
There basically was. It was a trip of a lifetime, guys. You know, I remember when I was very, very little, you know, whether it's Marty Stauffer or Fred Bear or any of the National Geographic even, I just loved watching adventures. And Africa really was a desirable destination that I figured I would never see, except in magazines. I didn't know that maybe Google Images would exist in the future, but, you know, back in those days. But then I actually kind of lost that hunger for a while. I kind of went through a phase where Africa, you know, from a hunting standpoint, didn't really sound good to me.
Yeah.
But then as some years went on, Amy and I were talking about, you know, an anniversary trip, and it was actually her idea. It's where it was great to ignite some of that fire of hunting in her. She said, "Why don't we go to Africa and do some hunting?" And
Wow.
like, yeah, I think that sounds great. So we got some referrals with the particular outfit that we went through. Those Metwetwe safaris. Had to work a while on pronouncing that correctly.
That's pretty good, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of their clients are from Michigan, so it's really easy to get references. And so we did all our checking, and so we flew there. And you know, day one, we we had a 7-hour adjustment to make there, and it's being that they're south of the equator, it's winter there right now, or it being summer here. That was a bit interesting, although their winter is nothing compared to Michigan. We were dealing with, you know, maybe 32, 33 degree low temp. By noon, it would be, you know, maybe in the 50s. So it was actually pretty refreshing because it was hotter than the norm in Michigan. It was, you know, we're dealing with 90 degree weather, which was, you know, not typical. It was pretty hot.
Yeah.
So we got there, and Amy and I got to the bench right away. We rented rifles there, which was nice, so I didn't have to worry about possibly losing my favorite rifle, that kind of thing.
That's convenient.
So we were shooting a Tikka 30-06. They had hand loads using Barnes bullets, 180 grain, which performed excellent. It was my first time hunting with a suppressed rifle. It was a bolt action. So we shot very well on the bench. Thankfully, no adjustments really needed. And so we headed right for the field. And this is where it got a bit interesting. We drove about a half an hour to we're, you know, in pursuit of plains game animals. So we were heading towards that type of habitat. And it didn't take us long to get into these pockets like wildebeest and zebras. And I was just thinking, oh my gosh, you know, here it is. We're we're really here. You know, this is really happening. Um, so after plenty of fails, you know, we would locate, you know, particular animal that we were in pursuit of. In this case, it was the zebra. We would head out on foot, do a spot and stalk type of hunt. And after many fails, was probably about 1 o'clock that afternoon. I was able to finally connect with my first big game animal from South Africa, which was the zebra. And man, it was already a morning of all these ups and downs. So I'm not a big like crier, but I'm telling you, I about broke down once I harvested that zebra. It was quite a moment, and I mean it. Tell you how rough it is. I fell on my face probably about 150 yards before I finally harvested this zebra. So yeah, it was awesome. Where I'm used to typically self filming.
Yeah.
I actually was able to contract with a local videographer there to hang with us and film. So it was, well, I don't, you know, I've formed the habits to self filming, so it doesn't bother me much. It was nice to not even have to think about it. And the gentleman doing the
Bring
filming
yourself up.
has been a PH himself for like 4 years. So I found that he was working ahead of me most of the time from a filming standpoint. So
Nice.
that was awesome. So from there we you know, got the zebra back to camp. The people from the village were right there to help, you know, process it. And there's like not anything but the actual stomach contents that goes to waste. I mean, everything gets used,
Gets
more
used.
so than what we would do typically at home with our whitetails. I was very impressed. Then we moved right on to day 2. First morning, or that morning out, I had a series of fails pursuing a blue wildebeest.
Okay.
I finally had an opportunity. We did a spot and stalk on one, and you'll just have to see the video. But something that was pretty neat about that is my first shot was right behind the shoulder, but he was quartered very hard towards me.
Okay.
And so he went to run, and this is a couple 100 yards. And I went ahead and started swinging with him, and I shot and dropped him right there on that second shot. So we were very excited that it wasn't going to be the super long track job for that. These animals are way bigger than I was expecting. Like the zebra, I was asking, you know, what do you think this thing weighs when I'm looking at this big barrel of a stomach? And he figured about 700 pounds on that stallion.
Holy cow.
That was, yeah, I didn't realize they were that big.
It's almost like a moose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So blue wildebeest day 2, and I shot a warthog that day as well. Day 3, I shot a big gums buck. Those are just a fantastic animal. I got a nice double lung shot on him. Then that evening, and I'm making this sound, I guess, a lot simpler than what it is. Trust me, I had to fail a lot, even though this is a lot of animals to get in a short amount of time. I shot a kudu, and he was 54 inches on his horns. I mean, just a beast. I bet you he was all of 800 pounds.
Wow.
Just huge. Impressive animals. So we were eating mighty good at dinner time. All kinds of back straps from you know, these animals. There's some of them I didn't get to try. I didn't try zebra. I didn't try the warthog.
Okay.
Most of that meat went to the local village. It was just the best hunt. Yeah, I guess that's the best way I could describe it. From there, let's see. I took a Impala. My wife shot an Impala and a blessed buck,
Okay.
and then shot a baboon. And that I'll share that story with you a moment. So there, baboon is something that I wanted. I had sent them an email hoping to get one. Kind of added my list of game that I'd like to take while I was there. And when I arrived, they told me basically it wasn't going to work out because the area that
No way.
they go to typically, where they have permission to hunt, that there was some other group of hunters that were going to be in there. And so while I was disappointed, it wasn't, that big a deal, but it was just something that I was looking forward to. Well, about halfway through our hunt, the PH had gotten a call from one of the guys from his church who's a cattle rancher.
Yeah.
And he had mentioned how he had this huge problem with the baboons coming in while his workers were on break, and they would steal the cattle feed. And these are really high-end cattle, beef cattle that he's raising. And he said then it escalated to the point where even while his workers weren't on break, that they were throwing rocks at these baboons and throwing, shooting slingshots at them, and they wouldn't even run anymore. They'd growl at them and be really aggressive. This baboon is called the Chakma baboon, and I think there's like 4 different kinds, and this is one of them more aggressive, I guess. And so all I could do was, of course, volunteer to help out with this terrible situation.
Do your part.
Sign me up. Yeah, so we went out there. We talked to one of the workers that was dealing with all the riffraff from these baboons, and I guess they kind of work. We describe it as like organized crime.
Yeah.
So these baboons, they have sentinels. Their whole systems in going to get this food was actually highly intelligent.
So there's a method to their madness.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So we went in and set up this pop-up blind by kind of like this water trough. And it wasn't because we wanted to hunt over the water. It's because we needed something to break up the image of the pop-up blind.
Okay.
So it wouldn't stick out, so obvious. And they told me up front, they're like, there's no way we're going to fool them that this blind was here all along, but we're going to do our best job at it anyways. Make the best of it. And they told me, you basically the females and the younger ones will come out first, and the males will stay back in the bush. Sounds like a bunch of cowards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They make sure they're okay. Well, then, so you got to wait all that out before the big males come out, which is obviously, what we were in pursuit of.
Yeah.
He said, but if you miss or mess this up in any way, they won't come back for a week.
They'll
so
learn.
You have to, no pressure, right? And the distances are, the closest we saw one pop out was like 130 yards, all the way out between 300 and 400 yards.
Oh, man. Wow.
And you never know where they're going to come out. And I've got only like a 30-foot wide path to get this shot off. So some of the males start shooting across, and there was no shot unless I'm really slinging. And I didn't want to go into that mode unless that was my last resort, right?
Yep.
Because I'm going to, I got to make it really count here. So something spooked them, and they all went running back into the bush. And thankfully, one of the males just happened to stop just before it had made it into the bush, and it looked back up towards us. And I was able to have a perfect shot right to its chest at 230 yards.
Wow.
And just hit it perfect, thankfully. So that was cool. That was really exciting because, I didn't think I was even going to be able to pursue them that week, and it still came together. So it was just,
it happened.
You know how that is with hunting, where you just kind of think something's going to go one way and it goes completely the opposite way. So you just finally kind of figure, well, it is what it is, and then it ends up happening after all.
It's like a roller coaster.
One of the greatest feelings.
How big of an animal are they, Ben?
I'd say probably 50 pounds ish.
Okay, so I mean that's a small target at 200 plus yards.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you saw some of the pictures I had posted, but they sure have some teeth on
I
them.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got back I started watching some other YouTube videos of where like a leopard would come in and kill one of those chacma baboons, and the other chacmas would jump on that leopard.
Holy
And
smokes.
they would all but kill that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they are a strong, aggressive animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of primates are,
Yeah.
are
They are.
super. So
Yeah.
you look at like orangutans and stuff like that. They're super strong.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But what a great hunt. Every single harvest we had, we were able to get on film. And so I've got a period of months yet before we get everything edited up. But sure looking forward to just reliving the memories.
I can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
It sounds like you would recommend a trip to South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there was a part of me, a few weeks prior to us going, there was that whole deal where Trump had the South African leader right on television and,
Yeah.
pointing out the unhealthy things going on in South Africa. And I was starting to think, I don't know about this trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad we went, but there was a piece of me that going wasn't 100% at peace with the trip.
Yeah.
I don't think I could convince Lacey to go on an anniversary trip with me though to Africa hunting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that would fly.
Yeah. Yeah. Amy's a good woman, Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, I sure appreciate it. Yeah. And she was so excited. She said, I'd like to at least take one big game animal so I can be like that cool grandma. But she said, I don't want to take anything that's too cute or too ugly. And I'm thinking, I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So Ben, did anything come back with you?
Yeah, I'm going to work on getting almost all of it back.
Oh,
with
excellent.
us.
Wow.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's quite a process.
Yeah.
So that's 11 big game animals between the two of us.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. Got a lot of shoulder mounts in our future.
Excellent.
But it sounds like it's going to be about a couple year process for me to get them here and get the taxidermy done and all that.
Yeah.
Your taxidermist must love you.
Yeah, as I explained to him the other day, I'm pretty sure I'm funding his family Christmas this year.
You'll have to, maybe you all already have been, you'll have to build an addition, just a showroom on your house.
Right?
Yeah.
I
actually
got a
knew
little
a guy.
time to think it all through. Where am I going to hang that gemsbuck and that zebra and that blue wildebeest and that kudu? It's a good problem to have. And
Yes,
that
it
is
is
a good problem.
Yeah, and like I say, that can be solved. I had a gentleman I knew up here in northern Maine, and he had gone to Africa, and he did a lot of traveling up in Canada, Saskatchewan, and everywhere. And he built a room on his house, and it was just for that stuff.
His trophy room.
Trophy room.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've chewed up most of our living room and most of our basement now. Amy's not having it to have that baboon full body mount in our master bedroom yet. But
It'd be a little scary.
Yeah.
Looking over you every night.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. It's so cool to go to another continent and experience totally different game like that. I really have a deep appreciation for everything we have in North America.
Yeah.
But then, I'll tell you another piece that was kind of refreshing, though, is the outfitter, the PH that had hosted us. They were extremely like-minded, so it's just kind of cool to go 8,200 miles away and stay in somebody's home that shares a lot of the same values that we do.
Right.
Thought
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
It's amazing how the hunting community is like that.
Mm.
You run into people,
Oh, for sure.
and it's so easy to sit down and have a conversation with a fellow hunter. It just happens effortlessly. And
Oh yeah. And like every group, yeah, you have say that good community, and then you got a couple of those that just aren't a good representation.
no, you're right.
Oh yeah, you
There-
always
It's true
have
with
that.
every group, right?
There's always a bad apple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one question I got for you is, we all have like our most memorable deer hunt, and especially from deer camp. Is there one in particular that stands out to you? That's your like most memorable deer hunting experience at deer camp?
Let me share two of them with you.
Sure.
First one is actually when I was up in Ontario with the Big Woods Bucks guys.
Yeah.
And we were what seemed like 50, 70 miles deep, bunking down all these logging roads and way back in the middle of nowhere. And there just happened to be this truck coming in the oncoming as we're going really slow, putzing through this trail early one morning, looking to cut a track. And as this truck's coming up to us, it's kind of one of those deals. It's very narrow. I mean, it's not a 2-lane road. Somebody's got to move off to the side so the other can get through.
Yep.
Come to a stop essentially. And it actually ended up being Lanny Benoit.
No kidding.
And so to be, all the way up there in the middle of nowhere and to cross paths with him, I thought that was really cool. So no deer in this story necessarily, but that was just something that was just kind of like a wow. And so
A serendipitous experience.
Yeah, he's and we all know, and he's a legend, and he was a groundbreaker in video, whitetail deer in the Northeast and stuff, the way we hunt and tracking and stuff. So that would be something to run into him, like you say, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Another story that happened. So in the last few years, the Wyoming trip, and then 2 bucks that I killed here in Michigan, I had situations where, I had this kind of mindset that if I missed, say, a mature buck out of a certain stand or area location, if I shot at it and I missed it, that the likelihood of me getting a shot at that buck that season out of that same spot or area would probably be pretty unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When you're stand hunting anyways.
That'd stand to reason.
And so I had that belief all the way up till a few years ago, where a few years ago I have missed these bucks and then had another opportunity at them, a day or two later.
No kidding.
And so that, let's see, I'll pick one of my Michigan hunts. There was a drop time buck that I was hunting. I had trail cam pictures of them, all throughout the summer, leading up to fall. And I was really pleasantly surprised. I started seeing him in daylight as we were getting close to the rut, and I wasn't having any shot opportunities at him or anything, but I was actually getting my eyes on him, and I knew who he was, and I was excited about that because that's not necessarily typical for me. And so as we got closer to the peak of the rut, this buck proceeded to get dumber and dumber. And so we got around that November 4 time period, which has always been really hot for me here in Michigan. And I was able to see that buck early one morning. I was hunting with my son-in-law, Brian, and I grunted at the buck, and he disappeared, went into the thicket. I thought, well, I know how this goes. He's going to pop out somewhere along here, just in a matter of time. Well, he held out long enough that I kind of forgot about him, basically. I thought, well, he's not coming. I just went back into this hunting mode, really, really late morning, almost noontime at this time. And then suddenly he pops out right in front of me, 40 yards. So I couldn't be more confident that I'm going to kill this buck.
Yep.
And so I got my rangefinder, I hit his range, I get down, I was hunting with a crossbow at the time. I have my camera on the camera arm, and I get everything lined up just perfect. And I know I've got him, he's standing perfect. And so I put my crossbow on fire, and I squeezed the trigger, and I heard the most loudest racket you could ever imagine. And my camera on the camera arm falls 22 feet to the ground.
Oh.
The remote to it rips out. My crossbow is broken. The string's busted. And the camera arm that the camera was on, the pin on it had sheared. And the buck, literally just laughed at me and bounded away. And I'm just standing there like, what just happened? And I look closer, and the limb of my crossbow had hit the downpost for that camera arm.
Okay.
And just pretty much everything grenaded.
Yeah.
This is the buck I've been after, since summer, right? And this beautiful drop tine buck. And so I'm just pretty devastated by what happened. My son-in-law, Brian, comes running over, and he thought maybe I fell out of the stand or something. He could see that buck from over by where he was at.
Oh, wow.
And I actually have this video on YouTube if you want to see it. The camera actually kept recording when it hit the ground and everything.
That's
you can
amazing.
kind of hear our dialogue. Yeah, so Fourth Arrow is the camera arm that had broken, and they're a local company. So I went to them, and they were super nice. They replaced it at no charge. I went to the local bow shop, and they got my crossbow fixed within 2 or 3 days. So this was a Sunday morning.
Okay.
3 days later, I'm basically up and running again. And I thought at the time that I was done because we're about ready to head to gun camp at this point. Yeah. And so I thought, I'm going to get out just one more time. So that Saturday morning, Brian and I went back out. I sat in that same stand, and that same buck came to the same scrape. I could not believe it. He was working it. I grunted. He came running, not in the same spot, but again, a 40-yard shot, and I just drilled him, and perfect shot, and you could hear him wreck out, and I was pretty emotional over that whole thing, because there again, that's a classic hunting story where you think everything is not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then it happens. That is just, it's hard to describe unless you're a hunter what that feels like, right?
100%. I'll have to check that. I don't think I've seen that. Have you seen that video one?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I have or not. I watch so many videos that...
I'm going to go watch it tonight.
Yeah, and deer hunting are my favorite, so I may have. Was that in the southern part of Michigan, Ben?
Yeah, that was near home.
Yes, yep. Yeah. I've watched a lot of turkey hunting videos and stuff of, down in the lower part of Michigan.
Yep. It's, going up hunting the big woods and being up at deer camp, there's been plenty of times that I'm like, okay, the biggest buck of my life is back at home right now.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah. There's something about that experience, especially if you grew up doing the deer camp thing.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a lot of deer right around my house, and I have no interest in hunting because it's just not the
Yeah.
it's not the same for me. And that's hard to articulate to someone who, never didn't grow up going
Right.
to a
They
deer
just
camp.
they think the end goal is to just shoot a deer.
Yeah.
And,
It can be hard to explain
Yeah.
to somebody to get them to fully
Right.
understand.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about, your area, but if it's anything like here, like back home, it sounds like it's like World War III on opening day as far as all the gunshots you hear. Where I'm up
Yeah.
in UP and
Yeah.
we
Same way here.
might count, 8-10 shots in a whole week.
So, Ben, one thing I wanted to ask you is, so you've been on YouTube for 13 years, roughly. What made you decide to start doing the YouTube thing? Like what spawned that?
So I've since before I could hunt, I roamed the woods with a video camera.
Yeah.
Again, I mentioned earlier, liking the Marty Stauffer stuff, and that I was always intrigued by the adventure of in the woods and kind of capturing the memory. I'd come back and share things that I saw, but you could almost see disbelief in people's eyes unless they capture on film to prove it. And so as I got into hunting, I just kind of carried that on with me of how cool it would be. And I loved hunt videos. Back then, the whole industry was very immature.
Yeah.
Whether it's Noel Feather or Dan Fitzgerald and Dick Idle and the Wenzels, all these things from the past. I couldn't watch enough of it. So I just wanted to create my own. Well, YouTube was just a platform where I didn't have to drive to somebody's house, right, to show them a video. I could just send family and friends links to what I saw. So if one of my oldest videos is catching a bird at camp with my hands, I don't know that anybody would believe it unless they saw it.
I saw that video.
That was a easy way to, share it, basically, is using the cloud. So that's kind of how that all started. And then that video in particular, just one day it shot up to like 10 or 20,000 views in 24 hours. And so I thought, maybe the public actually is interested in this more than just my family and friends. So I kind of started capturing the story with that in mind as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So you were one of the early ones.
Yeah, I think that's, today there's no shortage of videos by any means out there.
There isn't.
I will say from the deer camp perspective, maybe it's more on the smaller demographic.
Yeah, I would agree.
And that's the reason I found you, Ben. I love the deer camp theme so much that I would put it in on YouTube, just deer camp videos, and that's how I found you.
Well, I'm glad you found it entertaining, and I think it's pretty cool that brought us together today, and even in the past through comments and that. It's we were talking about community earlier, and it especially I think the deer camp community is a good community to be a part of.
It is.
Yeah, so Joe and Zach's Survival, I don't know if you watch their deer camp videos and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I assumed you did, Ben. Being up in northern Minnesota in a tent, that always intrigued me too and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of my favorites even. Yeah, that whole adventure and, getting family and friends together. That's my jam. I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good addiction to have.
Yeah. And like Paul had said early in the show here that Michigan and Maine have a lot of, we have about the same temperature and climate and deer hunting is, almost religion in both places.
The buffalo plaid.
The buffalo plaid. The red and black check. And
yep, for sure. Especially in the Northern Territory, I'm hearing, I don't hear the accent so strong with you guys, but hearing Hal and them say yads and that dia.
That's the Southern Maine accent. Yeah, we don't have it too much up here. We sound
more Canadian than
out
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah, although we have that ourselves. I don't know if you've heard the Youper talk.
Oh yeah.
yes, yeah.
Plenty in Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like a lot of it, especially Wisconsin. They've got kind of like Maine. They've got their own little inside state jokes or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm gonna get that video, Paul. There. What is it? Midnight in Escanaba. Or
Escanaba in the moonlight.
Yes,
I haven't
by
seen
moonlight.
that.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That movie's funny. It's got a lot of, the old tradition stuff, but then it kind of goes almost off the rails for a while.
Yeah.
It does.
Then it
Yeah.
gets really good again.
I was watching a video the other day, and they said it was tradition when they get up to deer camp to watch
Just
that
to watch
video.
that?
So
Maybe-
I've got to get that
Okay,
video.
this year at deer camp, we'll watch Escanaba. in the
I've never
moonlight.
seen. I know Jeff Daniels is in it. I've never seen it. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually a tradition for us. We also watch Jeremiah Johnson. I don't know if you've watched
Okay,
that. but
yeah, Clint Eastwood.
That's the Robert Redford.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that wasn't Clint
Yep.
Eastwood. He was High Plains Drifter and all that. Yeah.
Well, Ben, anything else that you'd like to add or talk about, or?
I'd just like to say I'm grateful that you guys gave me the opportunity to share a bit with you on our adventures here in Michigan and up in the North Country.
Well,
I think that is pretty cool. The parallels that you mentioned between Maine and Michigan.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of them
deep-
in the white-tailed deer
yeah.
community.
Well, we appreciate you joining us.
Well, thank you. I hope we can do this again.
100%. Yeah. Anytime, Ben. Anytime.
Yeah.
After hunting season, like a post-hunting season podcast, we'd love to hear some deer hunting stories after this season.
It was nice to meet you, Ben.
Yeah. Keep
It's
producing.
awesome meeting you guys.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
Keep
thank you.
producing some good content because
Yeah.
we enjoy watching it.
One of the things, just in closing, Ben, one of the things I enjoy about your channel is, I think you're a man of ethics and
Good moral standing.
good morals and stuff, and yeah, we really appreciate that.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I appreciate you sharing that. There's plenty of garbage out there.
you're
and,
absolutely
uh,
correct. That's one of the things I enjoy about watching your channel.
It bring a lot of value to people's lives.
Yeah,
Helps balance out the
negative.
garbage
Yeah.
that's out there.
Yeah. Very kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Well-
it's fantastic to see.
Yeah,
Well, I hope we cross paths down the road.
you never
I
know,
hope so.
Ben.
Come to Maine
Right.
sometime.
Yeah,
That sounds good. Sounds like an adventure.
It always is.
Right on.
Awesome. All right. So I guess that's it.
All right. You guys have a great rest of the week.
Thanks,
you,
Ben.
You also, Ben.
Have a
Take
great
care.
night.
Okay. Bye-bye.
See
Bye
ya.
bye now.
Well, there.
Yeah.
That was a good conversation.
Yeah, like I say, what was great about it, Paul, is he's someone I get into early before, who knew that I would be talking to him face to face and having a conversation with him, because before you ever had a channel, I was watching Camp Benny, and
Really good guy.
yeah, he is.
Really,
Yeah.
like you said, great character and
Yeah.
good morals.
Yeah.
So I guess that's all she wrote for
That's it.
tonight. All right.
Yeah.
It's getting late, starting to get dark. So we'll have to hook up with Ben another time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be great if he could come to Northern Maine.
Yeah,
and
maybe we can get him to come up here.
Yeah. Yeah. He would have a place at camp if he ever wanted to come.
Good deal.
Yeah.
I bet you would.
Yeah. Maybe he and Little Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a fantastic time. All righty. Well, I guess that's it. Till next time, get outside.
It's good for the soul.
See ya.